Morning, bro.
Good morning.
How are you?
I am fantastic. I'm drinking Guatemalan coffee in a swing in a jungle, about to go do some surgery on a little girl. So life is good.
Fantastic night here at the Finca. If you're ever in Guatemala, you have to come here. It's probably one of the most mystical and magical places that I've been, especially sleeping. And the hangout room, everything. I mean, it's just wonderful. Stuff that you see in magazines, you know? Today we got big priorities. We're leaving early. Surgery. Those docs are ready for surgery. I've been watching them this morning. They're mentally preparing for what they have to do today. You too. See you on the next one.
Hi, Gabby. Thanks for this.
The Finca had been just what we needed.
So we just got off the boat, coming back from the Finca, our launch, and the docs are going to go up and get prepped for the surgery this morning. And Clay and I and Toby are running up there as well. We're going to come back with rigs and pick up packs and the last few guys, and then get going on our day.
Days like this have a way of making you feel alive.
This is the surgical lounge where we wait.
This is pre-op. We got music and AC, and we're gonna lower our body temperatures about 10 degrees. Hashtag worst Mayan ever.
And we mean that with love, because you're like one of us. You're like one of us, Wilmer. That's
Yeah. You have to have thick skin, Wilmer.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, this is good. All my stuff's right here. Nobody in here.
All right.
Everybody has to leave. Everybody has to leave.
Yeah, lahat ka na, relax ka na.
Everybody. She even knows. She's like looking right at me.
the luckiest Mayan ever.
You missed my hug earlier. I got a hug her.
Oh, she gave you a hug, huh?
She gave me a hug. 110/70.
Yeah, if we were to do this in the United States, it would be months of diagnosis and monitoring and CT scans and ultrasounds and tens of thousands of dollars in the operating room. But we're coming down here and we're doing it for that plane tickets and some gasoline and a ride, so it's pretty cool.
There's no room for mistakes today. We have to get this right.
We're prepping the truck, so we get all the bags stowed away. We've got room for passengers and room for a patient if we were to need one in Rufio's set up so that that's possible. So we're just doing some quick sorting, and we're going to start shuffling bags so those two vehicles, both the 4Runners, are empty, so that if we've got to make a quick move, we're ready to do so. And inside of Rufio, it's been designed so that the storage has dual function, so that the boxes work as a personnel transport for somebody that need to be transported to, say, a hospital. So we've moved all the bags out of those areas so that if those doctors give us a sign that we've got to get to a hospital somewhere soon that they can't take care of in the clinic, we're ready for the entire team to roll. We got seats and seat belts for every member of the team, and we'd be able to get out and get her to a hospital.
To occupy the kids in the village and keep them from the open-air surgery windows, Griff fires up some technology.
Even kids dig 4x4s. Tell her we're going to take her friend away from her.
Okay. Terus jalan na No, ¿querés chaval en las panchas? That was
You
one
can
thing.
tell them I've operated on over 3,000 children, so I know how to take care of children. But
Okay,
we're gonna numb her up and she'll be good.
Hans 처음 시간 10일 지금 알냐 뭐 나다
No problem. Okay. Tell her it's gonna hurt when I numb her up, but then she'll. I got it right. Okay. I got it.
So these guys are about ready to cut here.
Hey guys, who have those 812s?
It's kind of intense for me. I've never seen this before, but they know exactly what they're doing. This little girl's pretty brave.
We used already.
They're right there.
And
Doc, did you stir one yet?
Yeah, I used one
yeah,
pair of eight.
we're about to go.
So give me an 8.5.
I'm just standing by, watching, and learning, and trying to help out wherever I can.
She needs to let us know if it hurts.
If she's not feeling anything, she just knows we're back here doing something. But she also knows she's going to lose her friend, which is motivating her. The nice thing would be able to do some of this for pathology, because it's one of those weird neurological tumors or something, but we just don't have that, so we do the best we can. Really kind of grown into the skin. Makes you think it's more of a skin-based tumor. And what we're trying to do is just, go from known to unknown. Lift this up, see if it has a stalk anywhere close to midline that we would want to tie off.
In the heat of surgery, Doc is calm and collected, something he learned from his childhood.
I was a kid, I was 10, 11 years old, we were in Beirut. And my dad taught us before we went, if I tell you to do something, you never question it, you do it immediately. So we go downstairs and there's the rest of the folks from the tour downstairs, and Dad says, everybody outside, we've got a bus waiting. And there wasn't enough room for everyone. My dad and mom had to follow in a chase car. We get into Damascus. We go up this area into the airport, and they cut the chain link off the fence. They cut the chain off the fence, and we actually drive out on the tarmac, and there's a 737 waiting. And we start getting on the 737, and it was so crowded that my brother and I stood in the aisle when it took off. But I remember looking out the window, and you could see off in the distance as we were climbing out, buses lined up as far as the eye could see. And my dad goes, "You see that?" I said, "Yes, sir." And he said, "Those people were told to leave at the same time we were, but they waited. They wanted to see what was going to happen." He said, "I've always taught you you're responsible for all your actions, He goes, "You're also responsible for your inactions.
Yeah.
Because of their inaction, they're going to be stuck." I never forgot that. So he says,
No plan.
Yep.
he says, everyone says you're responsible for your actions and what you do. He said, but you're also responsible for what you don't do. Hence why we're here.
Yep.
A word of advice all of us need to heed.
Mind tough.
Mayan tough. That's what they need to put on Tacoma. And fat, it's like the underside of your skin, but it's a lot of it's attached to, which makes me think it's a skin-based tumor arising from.
The surgery is going well. The tension starts to lift as the tumor is cut from its source.
So they got the tumor out, which was very successful. So now they're just finishing up the sutures, putting those skin flaps back together. So they're making her look good. And she's a beautiful little girl. She's super strong. She hasn't cried yet through this whole thing.
I think she's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
cool is that?
You did so good. Muy bien, okay?
All good. That was worth it right there, man. It may come back, but if it's a slow growing thing, it will take another 10, 15 years. Or even longer. I mean, it could be 20 years, and then she may have a little lump, and then she's old enough to just, drive into to a hospital and have it taken out again.
Or we just bring you back here.
We'll be back. So. All right, that was good, guys. Say she's a beautiful girl.
We're done.
In Mayan tough fashion, she walks back to her home with her family.
That went good. It was just like most of the things we encounter. You make do with what you have. The patient was wonderful. We have a great team. Everyone pulls together. We recognize what we have, we utilize what we have, and we're able to take a pretty large tumor out of this girl's back. I think it's going to make a big difference for her. So instead of walking around with a deformity, you're going to have a little girl with a thin scar on her back, and she'll go on and be a normal kid.
Anytime you can make somebody's life better, it's a plus. In 2 days, she'll be able to run around like a normal kid. 8 days to take the sutures out, but that's what we're here for. It's not about us, It's about making a dent, and we do. Every time we come, we make a dent. We saw 60 people yesterday, at least 60 people. Today we did a surgery, full-on surgery. Not something small, it's pretty big. We dewormed the whole village, and well, 3. I guess there's 3 villages that came. So we dewormed 3 villages, saw them, dental, medical, and they appreciate it. That's why we come back.
We didn't talk much on the way out. We all just sat in awe of the day. What incredible people. What a beautiful country. Guatemala will forever have a special place in all of our hearts. Team 5 has a plane to catch in El Salvador, so we hit the road and move south toward the border. In the morning, Doc, Keith, and Hammer organize a few classes for us, designed to help us in the coming months of travel ahead.
Today, since we've got our Special Forces boys for just a little while longer, we've asked them to teach us some skill sets that are fun and cool, and things that they also think that we need to know in the event of emergencies.
It'll be fun. I haven't done any of this stuff, so it'll be interesting to see how many bruises I end up with after this.
Yeah, they were threatening to throw bags over our head and stuff us in the back.
I'm surprised they didn't rip us out of our tents last night.
Yeah, me too.
You're gonna get taken. You know you're gonna get taken. Don't fight it unless you know you can take it. So the best thing to do is play the game for yourself, and if you're gonna get taken your way. What you want to do is this. Push your wrists together as tight as you can, and you give it to them to duct tape. If there's any space between, you will not be able to get out. So let's see how strong you are. So I come to you and I'm like, hey dude, give me your wrist. Take your fingers, flare them out. Exactly, just like that. My daughter, before her 20th birthday, 50 times around, 50, she wanted 50. 3rd hit she got through.
Wait, 50 tapes around?
50 reps.
Okay, now I'm gonna show it without it on. This is the technique. Okay guys, you like this, get a good base, make a fist. What you're gonna do, you go like this. Boom! And you're gonna bring it in as hard as you can to your chest. You wanna punch yourself in the chest, but you wanna go through. It's like a punch. We don't punch somebody, you punch through them. So, you understand? Duct tape's not that strong. You can do your leg, even if they do up here, it doesn't matter. Technique, okay? You're standing like this. The idea is really fast, boom, as far as you can. Straight down, back straight.
It's physics. There you go.
Not a bad trick. Hopefully you'll never need it.
I'm telling you, this works.
These guys are a true wealth of knowledge, and I could have sat through this stuff for days. They went on to show us lock picking, dead driver drills, etc.
Pull up, pin your body back, kick that leg down and over aggressively. Get that thing down in there, and then pop up in the center, and then move over and control that vehicle.
And you're not looking the entire time, you're looking straight ahead.
Thank you very much. Have a nice day.
As we pack our camp up to move to the border, back up in Montana, Rhonda and Rochelle are also packing for the Rally Aisha des Gazelles rally in Morocco.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Oh. I swear, no matter how many times we thought through this rally and how we can check as little as possible to be super efficient when we're doing the plane travel, it doesn't change the fact that you need what you need. So, I think we're coming to the conclusion we're just bringing a whole lot of crap again because we have no choice. It would really suck to be out there, have your car break down, and the one thing you didn't bring just because you didn't have space would be the very thing that would have helped you finish the race or be kicked out. Yeah, I've learned that you always go over with 2 air compressors to Morocco. I spent half a day once just filling up other teams' tires because all the air compressors broke. And you also make friends that way. It's true, it's good to have friends at the rally. We only need 1 toe strap. We didn't even use one last year. In the race, you should have almost never used this. You'll find many of the other teams, if someone's stuck, want to help, and they just take one of these recovery straps and hook it to their bumper and hook it to the bumper of another vehicle and try to yank them out. I think we saved a few lives last year, making everybody stop and move away from this situation. And then we slipped these under their tires, these beautiful Max Tracks. Just nice and easy. Max Tracks got them right out.
We made them a ramp, and then they just used them.
Yeah, and there's really not much you can winch
So as you can see by the love on these we used last year, and they're still good to go. This was really cool. Brad McCarthy from Max Tracks actually made these white ones specifically for us. We auctioned off a few last year for our campaign of 1 in 4 in Voice Today and just racing to bring awareness of sexual abuse. Mm-hmm. White's kind of our campaign color. But these are the only ones that I have left, and I hope they last. Some women like to wear jewelry, and I like to wear compasses. And they're all labeled for their different personalities, because don't be fooled, they all look alike, but they're not. This is what it looks like in the rally. This is your assignment for the day. You're either given a latitude and a longitude, or you're giving a distance and a specific heading. And the other little key behind it is usually if you have a high kilometers total, that means you're not going to be going through necessarily as aggressive terrain, but you are going longer distances. Or if you have a distance that's shorter for the day or between checkpoints, it's because you're going to be going through more aggressive territory.
I think we should too. I know okay. We were hoping to have less bags to check at the airlines, but we just have, that's all right. We'll just have 12.
We fit it in our bag last year. Maybe we can.
We did. Scott did actually.
Oh, Scott. Where's Scott when you need him?
Okay. Okay, it's going.
Currently, we are at the Guatemalan-El Salvador border, getting ready to head in. The boys are just getting prepared for surrendering some of the Guatemalan import process, and then we're going to get headed over through the gates back over there to head in.
The border experience has been really smooth. It's been no problems, just doing some customary paperwork. And it seems like right now going into El Salvador that the paperwork requirements are even less. So it looks like they're just pretty much waving us through.
Everything's going exactly as we knew it would, which is a little bit slow, but that's all part of the process. We plan on about 3 hours per border crossing. If we average 3 all the way across our 8 border crossings from the States down to Panama, then we're going to be doing good. We're exactly 2 hours into this border crossing right now. If we get out of here in the next 10-15 minutes, we're ahead of schedule. We're going to get into San Salvador for the night, have a nice dinner, say goodbye to our good friends from Team 5. They're flying out tomorrow. We're going to continue heading south to Panama.
Good, yeah, now. Welcome to El Salvador.
We rally into the night to get to our setup accommodations and stage the Team 5 guys for their flights in the morning.
I'm a little sad we can't go with you.
I kind of am too. Yeah, it would be awesome.
You guys are rad. I'm excited about this. This is one of the best, coolest things I think I've ever done.
Sweet.
And I think I'm a little bit spoiled on the Overland, you know, having my first experience in this car, in this rig.
So yeah, we're gonna go drop these guys at the airport, and then we're on with our adventures. But this has been one of the highlights of our trip.
We're in San Salvador, which is one of the highest murder rates in the world, and the reason they're that way is because back in the 80s and 90s there was kind of a big insurgency war here, and a lot of guys fled to the United States and Mexico, and they learned the gang culture there in prisons and on the streets. And what they did is they learned those skills, and they came back here and they used that to start taking over neighborhoods and run drugs and get money in their own country. You know, they recruit these kids fairly young, and often the entrance exam is murder to be a part of MS-13. So as they're cruising through the country, they've given them the safety brief on how to not stop in cities or villages, how to not give somebody the opportunity to make a call ahead to where they can be ambushed or taken advantage of. You know, the biggest thing we're trying to do is we're trying to make this convoy look like a hard target and not a target of opportunity.
Hey guys, we're slowing for another checkpoint. Come on.
We give them the guidance, you know, to be on the lookout for heavily tattooed teenage and young 20s males, because they are the major threat while they're in country here. So they're gonna move on as a hard target and get out of this country safely.
San Salvador is a pretty rough place. As many as 4 out of 100 people will be murdered here. Within the 20 kilometers between San Salvador and the airport, we went through 3 crime scenes and drove by a dead man in the street.
We out, let's roll.
All right, well, we're here at the airport in El Salvador, saying goodbye to the Team 5 guys. It was a ton of fun hanging out with them, a ton of fun doing hanging in the Mayan villages with them. So we'll say goodbye and then we'll move on.
Love you, Team 5. That was beautiful. Had such a good time, learned so much, and I think it's really going to be impactful for us on this trip. Oh, so you're going to take shotgun. I see. I see how we play.
All right, here's your camera back.